My name is Kim Bellemere, and I'm a program manager with Friends of the Cause. So I work with Don Buehler, our river keeper and executive director, and I do a number of different things. I do the financial management for our grant programs. So I also work with our cleanups, our bank cleanups. Don kind of handles the in-river cleanups, and I do the bank stuff. And then I also work with our riverbank restoration project, which is a native plant restoration program. And then I also work with our Adopt a Boat Ramp program. So what would the river be like today without Friends of the Cause? You know, that's an interesting thing to think about, and it's something I'm glad we don't have to think about and that we don't know the answer to that, truthfully. You know, Friends of the Cause has done so much for the river, be it working on the elimination or the reduction of sand dredging in the river, as well as all our work, or all Friends of the Cause work with pollution reporting and compliance issues. But I think the thing that I find most memorable or most interesting is just Friends of the Cause work to increase access to the river. It's a big river. It's 173 miles from Junction City to Kansas City. And because of Friends of the Cause work, or in large part because of Friends of the Cause work, people can get on it and access it all along the river at, you know, these 19 different boat ramps. And that's extraordinary for a number of reasons. One is, and what I think is special and really important, is that when people are on the river, they're connecting with it, they're learning about it, and they're understanding it. And it's because of that connection that we build conservation, or the will to conserve it. And so people really conserve and protect things they know and they see and they experience. And so increasing that access, or that opportunity for access, I think has been an extraordinary legacy for Friends of the Cause. And I'm from Western Kansas. I'm not from this area. And so when I moved to this part of the state, I really had to learn about it and really understand it. And it wasn't something that I was taught about really in school. So working for Friends of the Cause and really getting to meet people who care about the river and want to be on the river and go a little bit nuts when they can't get out on the river, that's been a really, really wonderful experience. And I think that it's a fantastic legacy for the organization. And I don't think we probably would have seen that without this organization. We wouldn't see the river users that we see today without it. So it is more about recreation, and it is gratitude and connection. The recreation's important because you want to have fun while you're out there. You want to have a good time. And so that's an important piece of it too. But I think it extends so much beyond that. It's about learning about our state and learning about the ecosystem and building an appreciation and a gratitude for it, and understanding the role it plays in our lives. You know, I did not learn as a young person, because being from out west, I didn't necessarily learn that, you know, 800,000 people rely on this river for their drinking water. That's really, really important. And so our health depends upon its health, but its health also depends upon us. And so by building those connections, we just reinforce that interdependency and that understanding of that interdependency, I think. Friends of the Cause has been around for 30 years, and it's been a remarkably busy and active, and I think successful 30 years. So we have every intention of being around for another 30 years. And so we have a lot that we can do, and I think that the future will be just as busy and just as active as the past has been. And I think what I hope to see, and what I think we will see, is a continuing of that idea of building connections, both with the people in the river and with our partners, and with anyone who really wants to be a part of what we do. So among maybe some of the activities we might see are continuing work with our riverbank restoration project. And I think that type of work is really, really important, because the goal is to restore native species back to the riverbank. And one of the things that I think is really very poignant about this organization and the work that we do, the Kansas River is the largest prairie river system in the world, and really on the planet. And at the same time, it exists in a state that has the most tallgrass prairie in existence on the planet. And this is the one place in the world where you can still see that. You know, unfortunately, that prairie or that river doesn't necessarily run through prairie all the time anymore, even though most of it probably was at one time. But we still have the opportunity to make connections and to help understand those ecosystems and the role they play in our lives and in our health, and the river's importance as a people corridor, but also its importance as a wildlife corridor. So the riverbank restoration will seek to do that, or riverbank restoration projects will seek to do that, to build that connection and that understanding and educate people about those ecosystems and how they exist. They also play an impact or have an impact in mitigating the impacts of climate change, because when we restore native species, we are helping to filter pollutants and debris before it gets to the river. And as we start seeing increased flooding or increased large rain events, that's going to become more and more important. They also help mitigate erosion, which again is going to become more and more important. So I hope to see us do more of that, and we've got a lot of space that we can use to do that. I hope to see us also continue to do our education work with young people through our Kids About Water program or another educational program, because we want to build a citizenry that also understands the river, and because those kids turn into adults who make policy and come out and recreate and do a number of different things that are really going to impact the river. And then most importantly, I just want to see us continue to build connections between people and the river. So we need to continue, I think, our educational paddle trips and continue those opportunities for recreation on the river, because they are so much more than recreation. They're building understanding and building a conservation ethic, hopefully, but within the people who are a part of it. So those are just three things I hope that we will continue to do. But I think most importantly, the organization will have and needs to continue having an impact on the people of Kansas and helping them understand the importance of the river in their lives, be it at the State House, be it locally, be it at schools. However that needs to happen, it just needs to continue to happen, and I think it will. I'm excited. There's lots and lots of great opportunities ahead of us. So I'm wearing my Friends of the Caw fleece today, which I love. Apart from everything else, it's just really warm. It's really cozy. But yes, so I'm wearing my fleece today. You know, it has the eagle on it, which this river has very important habitat for bald eagles. And so it's really a wonderful symbol of the organization and the work that we do. And this organization's just done so much wonderful, wonderful work over the years and will continue to hopefully do really great work. So it's kind of an honor to wear that logo, and it's kind of fun. And people recognize it, and they recognize the work that the organization has done and that the founders did years and years ago. And so it's kind of a source of pride for me, and hopefully for other people who wear this logo and do the work, be they employees or volunteers or board members, or even if they just come to one of our events. They hopefully will see the logo and understand a little bit about the history and understand the really, really hard work that comes out of this organization.